Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I am Muhammad Abu Bakr, and in this video we are going to solve the Cambridge International Education Biology 5090 question paper 11 October November 2020 paper 1 multiple choice questions only. So let's start our video. The diagram shows the structure of a cell from a leaf of a green plant. So what are the numbered parts of the cell? One is cell wall, two is the cell membrane, and three is the cytoplasm. So one is cell wall, two is the cell membrane, three is the cytoplasm, means D is the right option. The diagram shows three plant cells labeled P, Q, R. The diagram shows the arrows in the diagram show the direction of water movement by osmosis. So what is the correct order of water potential in the cells from highest to lowest? What is the osmosis? Osmosis is the movement of water from an area of lesser solute to a higher solute. Means water is the movement of water from an area of higher concentration to an area of lower concentration. So as shown in this diagram, the water moves from Q to P and then moves from P to R. Means Q has the lesser solute concentration, means Q has greatest water potential. P has the middlemost water potential, whereas R has the lowest water potential. So the greatest is Q, the middlemost is P, and the lowest water potential is in R. So C is the right option. An experiment measured the rate at which plants take up magnesium ions from a solution. One plant was given a poison that stops respiration. Another plant was left as normal. The diagram shows the results. The graph shows the results. So this is the left normal plant. This curve shows the rate of magnesium ions uptake by the normal plant, and this is by the plant given the poison. Now, how are the magnesium ions being absorbed by the plants at points N and points P? So if we look at point P, this plant was given poison, means there was no production of ATP. No ATP was produced, means active transport was not involved in the absorption, and in this plant given poison at the point P. There was no ATP, means there was no active transport. So means we can rule out A and C. So definitely the movement will take place by diffusion. We are only left with diffusion. Whereas at point N, the plant was left as normal, and the rate of magnesium ions was increasing. The rate of magnesium ions was normal, means the plant was carrying out active transports in its normal state, but when the plant was given poison, it had to absorb magnesium ions via the diffusion. In normal situation, active transport is taking place, but in exceptional cases likewise, when the plant was given poison, diffusion would take part. So means I would choose B as the right option, because active transport ordinarily is taking place, whereas diffusion is taking place in exceptional cases, as the plant was given poison here in this graph. So B is the right option. Starch digestion occurs in the mouth cavity and in the duodenum, but it stops in the stomach. Why is this? All the starch has been digested before it reaches stomach. No, cells in the stomach do not produce amylase. I'm not sure about B. The pH in the stomach changes the shape of amylase. Now, I think the cells. Yes, I think I am memorizing it. I'm remembering. I am remembering it correctly that cells in the stomach do produce amylase, but the pH in the stomach is below 7, like it is acidic, and this acidic pH changes the shape of amylase, means amylase would not operate in the stomach. So C is the right option. The temperature in the stomach is too high for amylase to work. No, it is not too high. It is normal body temperature, which is 36 degrees C or 37, whatever you mean. So the pH in the stomach changes the shape of amylase, although the amylase is produced. So C is the right option. Which row correctly shows the number of molecules for each substance used and produced during photosynthesis? For photosynthesis, we have 6 CO2 plus 6 H2O will give us glucose, one molecule of glucose plus 6 oxygen. So 6 CO2, 6 water, and 1 glucose and 6 oxygens, means D is the right option. How do carbon dioxide and water enter a leaf? So for water, always transpirational pull is responsible for its movement from the roots to the stems and the leaves. When the water is transpired from the leaf, the water rises up due to the surface tension by the Cohesion tension theory. We have read about the Cohesion tension theory, which states that water moves up the water column because of the surface tension. So transpirational pull is responsible for the movement of water, so we can rule out A and C. Whereas carbon dioxide movement cannot take by osmosis. Osmosis is the movement of water in some cases, but it is taking place by diffusion. Why it is taking place by diffusion? That the atmospheric CO2 is greater than the leaf CO2. Leaf CO2 is lower, means CO2 would pass into the leaves by the diffusion from an area of higher concentration to a lower concentration. So diffusion would take place, means B is the right answer. The graph shows how the rate of photosynthesis varies with light intensity at two different temperatures. Other variables are kept the same. Okay. So at 25 degrees C, the rate of photosynthesis is uh, constant here, as becomes constant here as well at 15 degrees C. In which section of the graph is light intensity limiting the rate of photosynthesis? So for P, for a temperature of 25 degrees C, Q is limiting the rate of photosynthesis. At this position Q, the light intensity plays its role and it limits the rate of photosynthesis of P. So Q is working, so we can rule out A and D. Whereas for R, at a temperature of 15 degrees C, the rate of reaction, the rate of photosynthesis is limited by S. At S, the rate of photosynthesis becomes constant due to light intensity. So Q and S are the right option, means B is the right answer. The diagram shows the human alimentary canal. In which part does protein digestion begin? So in mouth, no. In stomach, yes, means C is the right answer. D is the large intestine, A is the small intestine. Uh, Blood flows away from the small intestine in the hepatic portal vein, and hepatic portal vein carries it to the liver. Remember this. Hepatic vein carries to the heart. So where does the blood go next, and what may happen there? The kidneys, no. The kidneys, no. The liver, yes. The liver, yes. So the liver, where alcohol is broken down, we can do this by elimination, where bile is added to the blood. The bile is added to the blood via the gallbladder in the small intestine, not in the blood. Bile is not added to the blood. So we can derive from this that liver is the place where alcohol is broken down, and generally liver is responsible for detoxification, means C is the right answer. That's also one of the reasons why alcohol consumption increases your chance of liver defects and liver stones. So C is the right answer. The symptoms of a disease include weakness, fatigue, etching and swollen joints, and swollen and soft gums. Which food is used to treat this disease? So, if we check this, this disease has the symptoms of weakness, fatigue, swollen joints, and swollen soft gums. So, it is definitely osteomalacia. Osteomalacia. And why is osteomalacia caused? Because of the, no, it is not osteomalacia. So, I'm think I have to check. So, disease. The symptoms include the weakness, fatigue, etching, swollen joints, and swollen soft gums. So the swollen joints and swollen bones are for osteomalacia, but the weakness, fatigue, and swollen and soft gums, weakness, fatigue, swollen, and soft gums are characterized for the uh, what is that disease called? Scurvy, I guess. Yes, it is scurvy. And why is scurvy caused? Because of the deficiency of vitamin C. Ascorbic acid's deficiency causes scurvy, and oranges are one of the source for vitamin C. So oranges would help us reduce the effects of this disease and would help us prevent this disease. So D is the right answer. Which diagram shows the position of phloem tissue in a herbaceous dicotyledonous root? So this is not a herbaceous dicotyledonous root. So this is this middle tube. I now how I remember this. The tube in the middle is always xylem. The tube in the middle is always xylem, and xylem is surrounded by what? Surrounded by phloem. So D is the right answer. The diagram represents part of a leaf. So which these arrows show translocation and transpiration? So what is transpire? For what is translocation? First of all, translocation is the movement of sugars from leaves to the lower parts of the plants. So this is the phloem. Yes, it is phloem. This is phloem, but this is the phloem and xylem. So phloem is three. Phloem is carrying food to lower parts of plants. So three is responsible for translocation, whereas for transpiration at 2 the mesophyll cells are taking up I think water or gases. I'm not sure about this one, but in 4 these cells are removing water from the leaf. So 4 is the arrow which represents transpiration, means C is the right answer. In a process of blood clotting, the dash helps to convert 2 to 3, which forms a clot. Which words complete a description of blood clotting? So platelets always are responsible for blood clotting, and the platelets converts fibrinogen to fibrin, and a blood clot is formed. Remember this. So B is the right answer. 14 is a tricky MCQ. This is a definitely A star MCQ. So, which arrow represents tissue fluid formation? The tissue fluid contains oxygenated. The tissue fluid is the area among the cells which contains most of the food substances, the oxygen, and the uh, other necessary things which the cells need. So, this is the arterial end, and this is the venous end, and this whole is a capillary. This is a capillary. This is the lumen, and now he has asked us which arrow represents the tissue fluid formation. So the arterial end, this end would contain oxygen, food, and other metabolites which the cells need. So these metabolites would move from the lumen to this direction, would move from the lumen to this direction to form the tissue fluid. So we can rule out B and D. These oxygen and food metabolites move from the capillary to the tissue fluid, and where the these circular balls, suppose they are the cells. So among A and C, now you might ask why C is incorrect, because suppose we differentiate this, that this is the arterial end and this is the venous end, and the tissue fluid is always formed by the arterial end, and the tissue fluid is disintegrated by the venous end when the oxygen and when the waste products generally move, when the waste products waste products move out waste products move out. So that's when a tissue fluid is dissociated, disintegrated, whereas oxygen, food and metabolites are responsible for the formation of tissue fluid. So I would definitely choose A as the right answer. This A star MCQ has A as its answer. So which row shows possible causes of coronary heart disease? Diet high in saturated fats, yes, it will definitely cause. So C and D are incorrect. Diet low in salt would not cause it. Diet high in salt would cause it. Regular exercise would not cause it again. So B is the right answer. What are the products of anaerobic respiration in yeast? So first of all, remember this, that anaerobic respiration has a low energy lead, has a no low energy output. So we can rule out A and C. And the products of anaerobic respiration in yeast are alcohol, carbon dioxide, and the low energy itself. Whereas carbon dioxide and water are for aerobic respiration, are for aerobic. So B is the right answer. This is again a tricky question. This is also an A star MCQ. So the diagram shows apparatus used to investigate respiration. So first of all, if we look at this apparatus, this is the water here, this is the thermometer. So these are the germinating peas, these are the fresh zygote. So this is the wire mesh. This is NaOH, which is serving as a CO2 absorber. This is a colored oil drop, and this apparatus here symbolizes the movement of gases. This apparatus here symbolizes the movement of gases. As the gases produced, the colored oil drop would move outwards, and if the gas is absorbed, the colored oil drop would move towards the left. So this apparatus itself is used to investigate respiration. So which change will be seen, and what is the explanation? So what is respiration? Respiration is the breakdown of glucose to produce CO2 and water. Now, first thing is that CO2 would not move out, because sodium hydroxide actively absorbs CO2 to form sodium bicarbonate, whereas water would also not move out. Water would settle down in the bottom, and this would, I think, produce an aqueous sodium hydroxide. Now some of you might choose that oil drop does not move because carbon dioxide is absorbed. Some of you might choose as this as the right answer, but this is not. Why is this not? Because CO2 and H2O are being not emitted as gases, but oxygen is processed in respiration, means oxygen is used in the respiration, and this is the colored oil drop, means that oxygen won't pass from outward to inwards, and similarly it won't move from uh, inwards to the outwards. So oxygen gas is being utilized here. So since the gas pressure becomes low, this colored oil drop would move towards the left because oxygen is now being used. The volume of oxygen is now being reduced. So this colored oil drop will move towards the left. And why is this? Because oxygen is used by the peas. Okay, so A is the right answer. The diagram shows the rib cage and some of the muscles involved in breathing as seen from the side. What happens when the intercostal muscles shown in the diagram contract? So when the intercostal muscles contract, the diaphragm would move upwards, It will not move down. The lungs would not inflate. The pressure inside the lungs would increase and it will cause the gas to move outwards. The ribs move down. Yes, the ribs move down. So D is the right answer. So what happens when the intercostal muscles shown in the diagram contract? The diaphragm moves up, the lungs inflate. No, they're not. Uh, the pressure inside the lungs increases and the ribs move down. Yes, so D is the right option. During dialysis, substances such as glucose, mineral salts, urea, water move between the patient's blood and the dialysis fluid. Which processes are involved in these movements? So this will definitely not involve active transport. So diffusion, yes, diffusion is taking place because the salts are moving from higher potential to lower potential, and that's the principle on which the dialectic machine works. So B is the right option. Which organs in humans are involved in maintaining body temperature? Skin is, and brain is also is. The hypothalamus in brain contains the thermostat, which detects the changes in the body temperature and the environmental temperature, and thus helps in maintaining the body temperature. So A is the right option. Uh, mhm. The diagram, this diagram. Now we have to identify simply the hypothalamus in this. This is the pituitary gland. This is the pituitary gland. Whereas this is the hypothalamus. The pituitary gland is a small gland attached close to the hypothalamus. So we can say that this is the hypothalamus and this is the pituitary gland. So that's what we have to find. So mm, this is the hypothalamus. How can I zoom this? No, now it's ready. So A is the right option. The diagram shows a section through the eye. So okay, so this is the lens, and when the person so okay, just focus on lens for some time. When the person looks down and focuses on their mobile phone, what is the state of the structures P and R? So P P are the ciliary muscles, P are the ciliary muscles, and R are the suspensory ligaments. Suspensory ligaments. So what is the state of the structures P and R? So we are looking on something which is very close to our eyes, So one thing is for sure, that our lens would be contracted, it would not be relaxed. So these ciliary muscles would contract, and if these ciliary muscles contract, then automatically the suspensory ligaments would become tight, and this would help the lens to become more thick. So B is the right option. What is the sign of diabetes mellitus? Diabetes mellitus is a condition in which the glucose in the blood increases. So already a glucose in the blood is not a sign. Glucose in the urine can be, insulin in the blood no, insulin in the urine never comes. So B is the right option. In glucose in the urine can be a sign of diabetes mellitus. The urine, the LFTs, the oh sorry, the test for urine of a human can urology report can figure out if there is any glucose in the urine. I think the test used for urine test is urology, but I'm not still sure. You can check this as well. The diagram shows the bones of the human on what is the bone labeled X. So definitely X is ulna. X is ulna. So D is the right answer. This is simple human anatomy. For which diseases can antibiotics be used as effective treatments? For bacterial infection, yes. For coronary heart disease, no. Malaria, no. Viral, no. So A is the right answer. A bacteria can always be treated generally by an antibiotic. So A is the right option. The table shows the characteristics of four microorganisms. Which one could be a virus? So contains one or more cells. Virus does not contain a cell. Contains one or more nuclei. It does not have a clear nuclei, integrated, a complete nuclei. Produces spores? No. So A is the right option. I'm not sure about produces spores, but I know that virus do not contain cells and virus do not have nuclei as well. So A is the right option. Which statement comparing the production of SCP to the production of protein in the meat is not correct? Is not correct. So you have to find a wrong statement. Single cell protein can be produced more quickly. Yes, it has greater rate of production. Production of SCP is independent of climatic change. Yes, it is. Production of SCP requires more space. No, it requires a minimal space. It requires very less space. So single cell protein contains less fat and more dietary fiber. No, they proteins proteins do not have fat and do not have fiber. So C is the right answer. Which statements describes relationships in ecosystems? So carbohydrates are passed from decomposers to producers. No. In a minerals are passed from decomposers to producers. Yes. Yes, I think I'm right. Rot. I'm not sure about this. So energy is passed from carnivores to herbivores. No, energy is passed from herbivores to carnivores. So A and B are incorrect. Proteins are passed from primary consumers to producers. No, they are passed from producers to primary consumers again. So only left option is D and it should be correct. Carbohydrates are passed from producers to herbivores. Yes, this is in accordance with the trophic levels. So D makes sense. D is the right answer. Mealybugs are small insects that can feed on crops such as mango and coffee. They damage the crops and reduce the yield and profits for farmers. Last-wing insects and ladybug beetles both eat mealybugs, which row shows the position of some of the organisms in this food chain. So producer, so mealybugs feed on mango and coffee. So mango and coffee are producers. A and C are incorrect. Whereas mealybug is the organism which is directly feeding on the producer. So it is a herbivore. It is a herbivore. So whereas the carnivore which eats lacewing insects and ladybird beetles eat the mealybugs. Eat the mealybugs. So lacewing is a carnivore. So B is the right option here. The diagram shows the carbon cycle. What is the process X? So X first thing is common for both animals and plants. So CO2 in the atmosphere is used by plants photosynthesis, during photosynthesis, and is released back during respiration. Similarly, animals also respire and CO2 moves into the atmosphere. Respiration takes place here as well. So it is not burning. Burning is not taking place in animals and plants. So decomposition again does not uh, is not responsible for the emittance of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Photosynthesis uses CO2, whereas respiration here evolves CO2 towards the atmosphere, means D is the right answer. Three statements about malarial parasites are listed. Insecticides are used to kill the vectors. Yes, they are. Netting is used to keep the vectors away from people. Yes, they are. People take drugs that stop the malarial pathogen developing. Yes, these drugs alter the development of the malarial pathogen. So these methods are controlled to use malaria. Both of these three means A is the right option. What would be an undesirable feature in an insecticide? Insecticide is the one which kills the insects. It becomes more concentrated at each stage in the food web. This can be an undesirable feature. It breaks down within a few months. No, it is not. It is a desirable feature. It is a desirable feature because it helps kill the insects quickly. It destroys only one particular insect only. No, this is not an undesirable feature again. It destroys the immature forms of an insect. This is a desirable feature again. So we are only left with A, and we have the knowledge that these insecticides increase and increase at each stage in the food web, which ultimately somehow hampers the life cycle of plants, animals, and also the aquatic life. Plus, it also alters the ecosystem. Means A is the right answer. The diagram shows section of a flower where are the male gametes made. They are made in the anther. Which of these symbolize the anther? These two are anther, means A is the right option. What is not an essential condition for the germination of seeds? Presence of CO2 is not required. Presence of oxygen is highly demanded. Presence of water, the seeds require to be embedded in water. Suitable temperature is again necessary. So these three are necessary, whereas A is not an essential condition. So A is the right option. What is an what is an advantage to the baby of breastfeeding compared with bottle feeding? So only breast milk contains all the vitamins a growing baby needs. No, the bottle now the modern day bottle feeding milk also contains vitamins and essential components. So we show that A is incorrect. Only breast milk contains antibodies. Yes, this can be true. Only breast milk is sterile. No, both are sterile. Only breast milk provides the correct volume of milk for the baby. No, both can satisfy the correct volume of milk needed for the baby. So only breast milk contains antibodies. This is a serious advantage to the baby who is breastfeeded to the one who is bottle feeded. If the antibodies are not present in the bottle feeding, the baby which is bottle feeded will definitely uh, be at a higher risk to getting diseases, and would can could not tolerate much diseases. So B is the right option. The diagram shows the calendar for 33 days in February and March. A girl who has a regular menstrual cycle of 28 days begins menstruation on 5th February. February, during which dates would the progesterone concentration in her blood rise most rapidly? We know that progesterone concentration rises during the 20 to 20 during after 3 weeks, after 2 weeks, sorry, after 2 weeks, and after 3 weeks it starts to fall. So after 14 days, like here, and it would suppose I plot a graph here, it would increase like this, and then it would start to decrease like this. So 20 to 12, 26 February, in the second week, the progesterone concentration in her blood rises most rapidly. C is the right option. In a species of mouse, fur color can be either black or white. Okay, two black female mice are allowed to mate with the same black male. One female had 9 young, all of which were black. The other female had 7 young, 5 black and 2 white. So one of these white mice was male and is allowed to mate with a heterozygous female. What is the expected ratio of the phenotypes of their organism of their offsprings? So if one female produces 9 black and the other produces 5 black, then we can say that the black color is dominant. So I am using capital L as the dominant and recessive alphabet. So black contains L and two whites contains small l. So one of these white mice was male, so it was male and is allowed to mate with a heterozygous female. So what is the expected ratio of the expression of genes in their offsprings? So that's simply L multiply small l. So capital 1, so another, another, and another. These two small l are white. These are white, whereas these are black. So that is 2 ratio 2, that is 1 ratio 1. So A is the right answer. Uh, the diagram shows the blood group phenotypes of some members of a family. Which member of the F1 generation must be heterozygous with the codominant alleles? So in this F1 generation, there must be an heterozygous organism with codominant alleles. So if we check this, these two parents have II and II, both have blood group O, and they produce an offspring A which will definitely have II. So this will also have blood group O. Whereas when this A meets with B, it produces blood group B and blood group A. What does this mean? That there are two I's here and there is an AB here. This AB and this A and small I will produce blood group A in the offspring, and this B and this A would produce an blood group B in this organism. So I think B is the right option, but still we can check others as well. These see this we now are not sure about the parents which have these blood groups. Blood groups are not given for the parents, but there is production of a one blood group A and blood group O. So blood group O definitely has II, whereas blood group A can be IA, and can be small I and small ia. So how will these two be formed? If one of these is IA and I, or simply IA or IA, and one of these is a organism with a blood group O. So now D is a heterozygote, but it only has blood group A. Only has blood group A. Whereas B is a heterozygote again, but has both A and B. Has both A and B, and these A and B mate with A to produce blood group B with combination IBI, and blood group A with combination IA small I. So B is the right option. The diagram shows the distribution of a human characteristic X in a population in the population. So what is the characteristic X? So this characteristic is highly varying. So this is a continuous variation which cannot which have it does not have distinct phenotypes. The blood group has eye color, has sex, has, so C is the right option. Which statements about the use of bacteria to produce human insulin are correct? So enzymes are used to cut out the human insulin gene. Yes, they are. The endonuclease enzymes are used to do this. The human insulin gene is transferred to the bacterial DNA. Yes, it is combined with the plasmid or the tiny extra chromosomal structures of the bacteria. The bacterial DNA is transferred to into the human cells. No, it is not. The bacterial DNA is allowed to grow and it produces insulin, and then insulin is extracted. So only 1 and 2 are correct. So B is the right option. So that's all for our today's video. Thank you, and make sure to like and subscribe. Goodbye and good night. Allah Hafiz.